Hi everybody, it's Oksana. In this video, I am going to share with you some of my favorite safer choices for bottles and just cups, sippy cups, things to drink out of basically for your babies and your children, young children like toddlers, before they can really drink out of your typical regular cup, or maybe when you're on the go and you want something a little more spill proof. So these are my favorite options, and the reason that I'm making this video is because most options out there are made out of plastic, and of course we know that you're not supposed to heat or microwave plastic. It has nasty chemicals that leach into your food or drink, and more recently that whole BPA, bisphenol A, gained a lot of attention, and they took it out of most or pretty much all children's bottles and sippy cups and all that because of all of the terrible side effects that it has. Especially these are babies and little kids that this chemical is affecting, so a lot of times the effect is stronger, and of course we worry more for our kids. So the reason that I am kind of against plastic in general is because this BPA craze happened, and they took BPA out of everything and they replaced it with something called BPS, which is bisphenol S. And there are a lot of different bisphenols. There's the A, the S, and then there's like 20 other ones. So they just basically switched it out for another one. And studies are now finding that this S one is even more dangerous and has even worse side effects than the BPA. So pretty soon, once word of this spreads, I would hope that they would take it out of baby bottles and sippy cups, and of course they will probably just replace it with bisphenol, some other letter. And who's to say that that one's not gonna prove to be more dangerous in the future? And it's just kind of like a never-ending cycle. And so for myself personally, I thought I am just going to try to avoid plastic altogether. And here is what I came up with that worked out really well for my family. So first of all, the baby stage, when you need an actual baby bottle. These are even flow glass bottles. They are sold online at Target. I actually didn't buy myself. Somebody bought them from my baby registry on Target's website. This is just a little cap, and so you remove it, and it's like a little bit fogged up because I just washed it. So there's a little bit of water, but this part is normally clear. It's just a silicone nipple, and then you have the glass bottle. Silicone is generally considered pretty safe, and unfortunately there's no other alternatives really. Like, parts of these things have to be made out of something else besides just glass and metal. So these, I felt like they're safe because they're glass, but also I have not had any problems with them breaking or cracking. I know some people might get concerned that they are glass, but honestly they're really, really sturdy. And it says caution, rapid temperature change may cause breakage, so just keep that in mind. I don't think that anybody would be taking this from freezing to boiling within seconds. I honestly have not experienced any problems. Not a single one of these bottles ever broke on me while using it. We mostly use it in the house, and of course the baby is not very high up off of the ground. So initially I'm holding it and feeding the baby before they can hold it themselves. And then of course it's safer because you've got it. You're not going to drop it. And then once the baby is older and can just grab and drink from the bottle on their own, they're really low to the ground. So I mean, the highest the bottle would fall would probably be like this much, which has not broken any of my bottles. We have mostly carpet, so of course that kind of impact on carpet is not going to cause you any problems. We have some hardwood floors, which tend to be softer than like stone. If you have some like stone tile or something, and you are maybe dropping this from like a high chair, if your kid is sitting in a high chair, throwing it onto like a stone tile floor, I could definitely see this breaking. So of course you have to be mindful and not create the kind of situations where these can break. But if your kid's sitting on a carpet drinking this, you know, sitting just right on the floor, you're not gonna have problems. So love these bottles. I think they're wonderful. And the next bottle I'm gonna show you, I'll show you this one next because it's also glass. So while we're on the topic of glass, and this brand is called Life Factory. You may have seen these in Whole Foods. I feel like before they created this straw one, their regular ones have been really popular. My mom has had their cup for quite a while that she takes with her, I think, to the gym. And it is a glass cup. I believe this is tempered glass, and it is made in France. And little side note, I have some glass dishes. When I was looking into the safest dishes for my family, I ended up buying a brand called Duralex, which is a clear glass. I'm talking about, you know, plates and bowls and cups and all that stuff. So mine are made out of clear glass, and it is a French brand. So mine are made in France. So I'm wondering if this is the same company maybe is making these bottles. I don't know. But that's made in France. Everything else is made in the USA, and it is assembled in the USA. There's a sleeve, which is a silicone sleeve right here, which kind of helps absorb a little of the shock and make this a little bit more sturdy. The top part here is plastic, but I think this plastic is slightly safer. The plastic that sippy cups tend to be made out of are not like this really hard plastic. They're like more of like the see-through-ish bendy kind of plastic, which is the one that tends to contain the bisphenol. So just the cap is made out of that, and the actual straw is not plastic. It is made out of silicone, just like the nipple on this bottle, and it is removable, so it's easy to clean. If you have one of those little, I don't know what they're called, but they sell them at like Target. So you can use that, get right into the straw, clean it, clean, you know, this part as well. And I like to use a little sponge that I have that's like on a stick for cleaning bottles to get right in here, but the mouth is nice and wide, so you can get in there, maybe not with your hand, but you know, with one of those sponges for sure. You can get in there, get it nice and clean. Again, sorry, mine is all wet. And it has a nice little handle. You can hang it on something or carry this way. And this straw, when it is moved out of that position, even if it's just like this, nothing's gonna come out of it. So it has to be like this for the kid to drink. And then once you start moving it, it, you know, will not work. So it will be spill proof like this. And these are fantastic. What I use them for right now is I have this yellow one for my daughter, and then I have another blue one for my son. And I give my kids their milk in these bottles. In the morning when they wake up, they like to have a cup of milk, and then at night before bed, they have a cup of milk as well. So I use these bottles for that purpose. And because I'm using them in the house, I'm not really worried about them being thrown on like the street on concrete ground or something, worried about them breaking. But again, they are pretty sturdy, and I've had people tell me that they've dropped theirs on the ground and it didn't break even then. So it also has measurements on there if you want to keep track of how much they're drinking or how much you're giving them. And the reason that I chose this particular cup versus your traditional sippy cup with a little spout, because I believe they have something like that, and they definitely have one with like your typical little spout that, you know, pulls up and it's open and you can drink out of it and then it shuts closed, you know, the ones on like sports water bottles that you may be familiar with. So the reason I chose a straw is just because I had read that it's better for their development, the muscles in their mouth, versus a sippy cup, which is same kind of sucking as on a bottle. So I tried to transition my son pretty early on to a straw from the bottle. And I personally, I like these. I think that they work great. They don't have to be tipping them over to drink because, you know, you got the straw going all the way down. Especially if you have a little one, it might be harder for them to do with a bulky bottle like this, you know, tipping it to drink it. My son is 1 and he has no problems drinking from this bottle. He really likes it. And then another bottle, because you might be thinking, okay, everything is glass. My kids really like to throw things, you know, we're outside a lot. And I really need something bulletproof because I'm really nervous. Maybe you can use these glass ones in the house, but you need something sturdy for those kinds of situations where you just know you're going to be in trouble with glass. So for those situations, I love these little thermos bottles. I had a really cute Doc McStuffins one that I can't find now. That is my daughter. So I grabbed my son's, which is this Batman one. But this is the Thermos Funtainer. And they have a lot of different designs and varieties. I think they might have some various sizes as well, but this is the most typical one that you can find in stores. You can find this in Target, and it is made out of stainless steel. The mouth of this is a little bit narrower than the rest of the cup, but it's still not like super skinny, so you can get in there again with one of those sponges, clean it out. The top of this is plastic. This part right here is silicone. However, this part is a plastic straw. I wish they would switch this over just like that cup to a silicone straw. And this comes out, like if you push this in, let me show you. It will come out like that, so you can clean it all around. And I just found some dirt on mine, so I'll have to wash that. But I find that these work really well. This is what I pack my daughter to preschool. They actually recommended these. And so I think like all the parents are using these little thermoses. And, you know, it's great. You want to make sure that it's not aluminum if you're buying, you know, some other brand and you're just buying like a metal cup, because of course aluminum has been linked, you know, to negative health effects. And stainless steel is fine though. Of course, there's a little bit of plastic still involved, and these snap closed like that, and they also have a little handle to clip it onto something or carry it. And I find that they're really great and they're handy. This is a 12-ounce bottle, by the way, and a good option if you need something really, you know, unbreakable. So those are my 3 bottles that I wanted to show you that I think are great if you're trying to be green and more natural. And I think that they are some of the safest choices that you can get out there on the market. And if your child is now drinking from a regular cup, you can give them a glass cup, which I often do with my daughter. And if you are feeling a little nervous about that, you can get a bamboo cup. And I'm sure there's lots of other options for cups as well if your child has transitioned onto that. But these are my picks and I just wanted to share them with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye.